all of our watchers. We're just getting started. We're starting a little bit late because we had some trouble getting into the Hangout. So guys, the first thing I want to do is to give you some background on the Hell House, and since this is a one shot, I think we're just going to show up there and not have a long lead in. So here's what you know. From the papers of Gertrude Ward, who is a presidential appointee, she has enlisted a group of adventurers and experts to accompany her to Horsehead Manor. The legend about Horsehead Manor is that thousands of years ago, two powerful gods fell in love with a woman, an earthly woman. They battled over her, and at first it was just a lark to them, but then it became much more serious. And the more she rebuffed them, and she wasn't interested, the more convinced they were that they had to have her, and their sort of joke turned into a rivalry, which turned into hatred for each other, which turned into evil. At the end, they battled each other, and they battled over her, ripping her to shreds and killing each other and disappearing into the ground after summoning the most evil spirits from the skies and the depths of the earth. This is just an old legend. Nobody knows if it's true, but ever since, as long as history has been recorded, nothing would grow in this area, which is at the end of it's over a rise down in a canyon, in a dead-end canyon of red clay earth. Sometime in the 1600s, the land was claimed by the Spanish in Mexico, when this part of Colorado was inhabited by the Mexicans and belonged to Mexico. And a count and countess, or a conde and condesa in Spanish, built a manor there, and the manor still stands. In English, we call it Horsehead Manor. And the legend has it that she bore 3 sons, and they were born with goats' heads. And she had a midwife, Marigold, who helped her raise these children, but during that time, the count went mad and hung himself. It's said that this condesa was a witch, and she later sacrificed her 3 children to Satan. Since then, the house went into the hands of a trusted vassal named Vargas, and he took over the house and the servants. He also is said to have gone mad and murdered all of his staff and locked the murdered all the female staff and locked the remaining servants in a dungeon to starve to death. And the few that managed to escape his wrath report that he was last seen raving at the skies, "Look what she made me do." He was found eventually. The manor was cleaned out and sold off. And at that point, there was a school established. No one quite knows what happened in that school, but there's rumors that it was a school of satanic witchery. Every time someone tried to establish a town, children would go missing, the crops wouldn't grow, nothing would survive in this hellhole. And eventually, Headmistress Phi, who was the headmistress at the school, was burned alive by the villagers, and the town was abandoned. During the Civil War, nobody went there. Sometimes soldiers stopped by. During the Indian Wars, they tried to set up a post there. That didn't work. The soldiers didn't want to stay there. And late in the Civil War, or just after, a woman named Avetta, she turned the the house into a brothel. But at some point, everyone disappeared from the brothel, and when the local constabularies came to investigate, there was no evidence except for the blood dripping from the vacant rooms. That was 10, 20 years ago now, and of course no one wanted to inhabit this house where all these legends grew and where this horrible thing happened at the whorehouse. So the only people really who've been in the house since then are squatters, pioneers passing through, going out west, hobos, just a smattering of people, and they always leave almost immediately, and they're terrified, talking about devils and ghosts. Now, there was a family, a sort of indigent family, who tried to set up shop there in this grand brick manor or adobe manor, and they had a child, but the rumor is that there was something wrong with this child, that it was some sort of mutant, and that it murdered its parents. And that was just a few years ago. Nobody really knows the facts about this, but in his desire to continue the westward expansion of the United States, this has come to the knowledge of the president, and he's dispatched this contingent to figure out what's going on. Gertrude Ward has researched this, and she believes that the house needs to be cleansed. Of course, President Hayes is not a man of legend and superstition. He's a man of science, but he is willing to go along with her plan. He thinks that something's got to happen, and whether the house is cleansed or it's all a bunch of hooey, he needs a band of folks to go out there, figure out what's going on, and make things right. And that's what she has told you as the background of your adventure.
So, Miss Ward, have we established that arson is entirely out of the question?
The house is made of strong adobe.
Well,
It's a beautiful manor. It's not some hut in the desert. And if you think you can burn this down, I think you've got another thing coming. Also, I need to tell you that the president himself has asked me to scour this house for important documents. I don't know if you recall, and I don't know about your knowledge of history, but we have been at war with Mexico more than once, and that's how we obtained this land. And the president believes that there may be some very important documents there. I think we need to investigate that, and I would not appreciate them being sent to the heavens as smoke.
oh, certainly. That's not yet to the point of recommendation. Just simply point of inquiry. I'd like to know my options.
Very well.
So we're there.
You're there. I do want to take care of the sanity scores, because Lamentations doesn't have sanity. So that's a sort of a new mechanic for this game. And what I'd like each of you to do is to roll a 3d6.
That sure is a whole lot, but I would have been kind of amused if it had come up all 3 6s.
I didn't think about that. Kyle, were you thinking of 3d6 as being 666?
I sure will take 13 as an acceptable substitute.
Okay. And if you'll mark these down, either on your character sheet or if you're just looking at it in a PDF, just keep that marked down, and I will also mark down your sanity scores.
As they say back east, unlucky for some.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, shit.
What'd you get?
5.
And I'm sorry, I'm looking at the document. Who was that speaking?
Kyle.
Okay. Oh, fun. Yeah, Kyle. You're a man of, or let's see, you're Betsy. You're a woman of delicate sensibilities.
May I recommend that you not open any more doors than you have to? Just follow other people into rooms.
Oh my God.
Al has a delusion that she knows all about this house and what's inside.
How'd you do, David?
I got a 14.
Oh, you're a
So,
stalwart fellow.
Granny,
Or stalwart woman.
she's seen some stuff.
That
That's
kind of
right.
makes sense for Granny.
It
We'll
really
have her
does.
open all the doors.
I knows the old magic. Ain't nothing in this house gonna scare me.
I am an expert in architecture. I can open all the doors and locate them. In this era of architecture, there is always a knob halfway down the door, usually on the right or left side, and it will move on hinges.
Oh, is that how they work? Oh!
What? How'd you do for?
I've struggled with it for so long.
How'd you do for sanity, Alonzo?
11.
Yeah. Frank?
Whole lifetime of confusion, clear enough.
I have an 8. Yeah.
And
I
how
got a
about you, Arnold?
12.
Okay. Kyle's the only really tender-hearted person amongst you, obviously.
I'm sure it's going to be fun.
So, the party proceeds on horseback. You come to the rise, and looking down, you can see this extremely large and very ornate adobe mansion down there in the dead-end canyon. So you ride around, and as you start to get close, the horses start to balk, and you see there are like red clay dust devils blowing all around. Some of them not that large, but some up to like 15 feet tall, and they never seem to stop, even though the canyon seems pretty protected, and right now there's no wind. So tell me how you proceed.
Well, we can see the house, right?
Yep, it's probably 30 yards ahead of you now.
Whoa.
And your horses are balking a little, but they're going forward.
Does this look like the kind of house that would have a back entrance or a side entrance?
It could.
And just as a matter of inquiry, what's the season and time of day?
It's late spring, and it's you spent the night over in a town about 4 hours away. It's getting close to noon.
Okay, so is there any weather we should be aware of, or blue skies?
It's fluffy clouds.
Oh, very nice.
Benign weather today.
Is there an overhang or a shady spot where we could tie up the horses?
Are you going to look for one?
Well,
Oh,
yeah, we're
you
gonna
mean-
look for one.
Oh, you mean where you could stake the horses away from the house?
Yeah, so they're in the shade because it's a canyon.
There
But
isn't
not.
really. I mean, the canyon is sunny, but there are places where you could find a tree branch or something far away, before it becomes completely barren to tie up the horses. If you want to leave them there.
Horse such that when it goes right after noon, the shadow of the house itself will fall on them.
That sounds right.
Right?
And there are outbuildings, and you can see most of them are sort of off to the side of the house, and there are some like wooden structures that are falling down around the house as well from the old town.
I will circumambulate the house and see if there is more than one entrance.
And look for a stable, I guess.
Okay, so you're riding around the house.
Yes.
When you get closer through, the dust is not obstructing your view as much. You see that there is a grand front entrance, and then off, if you go around to the left, there are some stairs there that appear to be like a side door.
Going up
And
or
then-
down?
Going up to an exterior door.
I do have a distinct preference for entering abandoned structures in non-traditional directions.
If we enter the front door, it will be much more prestigious.
Indeed, Alonzo. And then if you keep riding around, you see in the back, let me pull this up, there's a more substantial double door in the back. So those are the entrances to the house. But let me tell you what you see in the backyard. Kyle, where's the damn backyard? I'm just kidding. Well, guys. I have to tell you, I tried to print this, and my printer went crazy, and it's making me insane that I don't have all this print.
That's because printers only roll 2d6 for sanity, and it can come up snake eyes, and it just freaked right out.
It's the wireless connection that failed its sanity check. I know it's in here. I read it.
Page 25, I think.
Okay, here we go. It's actually on my, yeah, okay. So as you circle around the back of the house on your squalling horses, you see that there's a cellar built out. There's a well. There's a work shed back there, and you also see some outbuildings and stables.
Okay. Well, maybe we should stable the horses.
I think if we could at least take a crack at it, let's keep them away from the well, because that's always the first place people tend to stick their unpleasant materials.
Like buckets.
So you head over to the stables, which are nearby. The doors are sort of off their hinges, although you and the stalls are not secure, but you do see places where you could tie the horses up, and that smells horrible in there. It's just old, and it hasn't been cleaned, and it's been used, and it's really unpleasant.
How about we tie the horses up to the exterior of the stable?
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad. I tie the horse up. You can't smell anything, horse.
The feeling is that whatever thing that is done by Betsy Parker, we should do a different thing.
Them some wise words.
Mr. Farquhar, why ever would you say that?
No, it's fine. What are you talking about?
Well, it was when she asked for some apple juice on the train, and then she said, "No, give me an apple," and then just suck the juice from it. I have feelings about her that I maybe should not imitate.
You've got robot voice, Zach. For some reason.
Say?
You sound like you're underwater.
Like you're an underwater robot.
Oh. Okay.
Say something. Yeah, that seems better. I don't know. It just was
Horses
momentary.
outside.
Yes, the horses are tied up. With you, by the way, you've met Gertrude. And there's another young woman. She is a medium. She's small, but she's a medium. And she...
First opportunity, somebody has to tell her she has done well.
She is introduced to you as Vidalia. Apparently she likes onions. And she is... she's here to deal with any spirits, ghosts, unfriendly, or sad ghosts that you may meet. So that's her purpose.
Signals are
So
pleasant.
Vidalia is looking quite disturbed, is what I wanted to tell you. And Gertrude is patting her hand and saying everything's going to be all right. The horse's eyes are wild, and they're not acting like normal horses. But you get them tied up. So here's your party of 8. Gertrude, Vidalia, and all of you. Where do you head next? You can explore the yard, go up the back entrance, walk around the house, or anything else you like to do.
Vidalia, what is the problem?
I just feel uneasy here. I don't like this place, but I'm committed to my duty.
So, shall we go through the prestigious front entrance, or the sneakier and stealthier side entrance, or through a window?
And let's not forget the possibility of taking the stairs to the second floor as a point of entry.
That's what I meant by the side entrance.
Well, the stairs that go up to the side entrance are just entry stairs. They don't go up to the second floor.
Ah.
That goes to a door on the main floor, but it's just a small door. And there's also double doors in the back leading out to the backyard where you were.
Well, whichever way we go, Vidalia, I would invite you to make yourself comfortable in my shadow. Therefore, whatever may pounce out upon you, should it be from outside rather than within, I will ventilate it.
And she looks up admiringly at him. He's big and strong, and she says, "Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chenoweth."
If he gets doe eyes, he flexes and growls. He can't help it.
She's taken aback by that.
I want to say, Bedelia, is there any particular opening that your powers of dubious origins give you the most tingliest feelings about? Garden?
And she stops very dramatically. No.
Oh, I have an idea.
You done been Freud, son.
I turn to Betsy the dwarf and I go, "Which door do you think we should go through?"
Let's see.
How about we go through the back door? That's the devil's front door. Now, I don't want to surprise him none.
Betsy says, no, it's kicking the front door.
All right, we shall take the side door.
Yep, sneaky it is.
We should split the party.
Always a great idea.
Yeah, my recommendation is do buddy system. Let's crack this into 4 and see if we can set Alpha on fire.
Yeah, one person, a stoner and a dog. And does anybody have stealth?
In my youth, I might have had stealth, but now I don't know.
No one's stealthy.
I think we didn't bring Kat Singleton. I think she would have been your stealthy person.
I never had much call for it.
Exactly. I don't need no stealth. I got the old magic.
Yeah, it's funny how nobody chooses on the big guy in the bar.
What about opening doors?
I'm real good at opening doors.
So who's going up first then?
Well, considering I got leathery brain meats and big strong shoulders, I don't mind taking the lead unless somebody else wants me.
Mr. Chenoweth has volunteered. You should go first this year.
All right, so you go up this rather
all over 3 continents. Anyway, go ahead.
You go up these rather mundane steps on the side of the house, and there's a door. It's a arched wooden door with a very strong-looking lock. What do? First thing you should do is take yourself off mute. There you go.
I push it open.
It resists.
Try the knob.
I try the knob.
It's locked.
I give it some shoe leather persuasion in the form of my mighty thews connected to a kick.
Okay.
I mean, what the hell? Property damage? Come on. There's no secret documents in the door lock.
Okay. Roll a d20 to see if you can knock the door down.
All right.
I'm sorry. Roll a d6 to see if you can knock the door down.
I do. Yes? I mean, one's always good, yes?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, that's what's colored in on my pip. Open Doors has a 1 colored in, so...
Yeah, you rolled a 1. You're in.
You're in.
Wow.
That's kind of astounding.
Yes, I will preen for just a moment, and the dust flows so that they can put that in the promo.
And
Them some
Vidalia,
stews indeed.
Vidalia fans herself, and
All right,
so
young'un, get in there.
And then I will stride in because, seriously.
because that's what you do. The first thing is you notice you're in a long hallway. It's quite dark. It's light outside, but in this hallway, there's really, aside from the open door, there's no windows. You're not, but you can see well enough that it stretches further than you can see, and that there is a junction that's down there. I don't know, 20 feet or so, but it starts to get very murky after that. You do see also on the walls there are candle sconces.
Do they have candles on them?
They do, but they're very dusty and dirty, but there's still candles in them.
Do I see any light coming out from under doors, like outside windows would be shining in? And if we could open those, it'd get more light in the hall?
You do see a door immediately to your left that you might see a faint light there. And while you're looking around, though, you do hear this very strange crackling, scratching noise. It's faint, but you can hear that there's some kind of noise happening in here. It seems like it's coming from above you, actually.
Well, critters done think that everything we ever built is a cave for their convenience if we ain't in it. So keep your eyes sharp. And I do recommend some
We will
candle
keep our
polishing.
eyes sharp. Just keep tell us what is in there.
Oh, well. It's too dark for me to see anything until it pounces out all kicking and scratching and so forth. So I'm going to see if I can bring us out some candles. So I'd like to tuck the rifle under one arm and go and see if I can get some candles to take outside so we can polish them up, light them up, and head in. I brought my chain and my crowbar, but not my hurricane lantern.
Okay.
I
So
have a lantern I could light to hand to someone.
That's a good idea.
They do that.
But yeah, I mean, do I have any trouble picking
No.
up some candles and bringing them out?
no, you clean them up, and they're usable. They're only at about half staff, so but they're there.
Well, I do not require complete enthusiasm from my wax columns. It's only going to get worse from here, little guys. All right. So, once we are equipped with the power of light, shall we head in?
Yeah, while you're playing Altar Boy, I'm taking a look at the architecture of the building. Is there something noteworthy, some kind of additional floor or something that should not be there, looking from the outside and taking a look from the outside inside the hallway?
You notice that the building is completely made of adobe, sort of a pale yellowy white, and that's not unusual for here. That's typical Mexican colonial architecture. It's quite grand. It's the adobe has been molded into elaborate shapes above the doorways, and all of the doors have huge ornate wrought iron hinges and escutcheons and door handles. But other than that, something says to you, this is out of place or something, but nothing immediate jumps out at you as far as being unusual, except for in its grandeur, stuck in this canyon.
Okay, then I'd like to get the door out of its angle because, well, actually, I hate it if some doors close behind you and you cannot open them. So I'd like to rip it out.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make a strength check, or let's see, what do you have a skill that would apply to that?
Don't know. Maybe architecture. Maybe something else like.
String might do it. If you wanna.
We have a crowbar. I don't see that it would be that hard after the door's been kicked in.
I have.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to.
I have a minus pick that might be helpful too. Because
You can just have at it.
Yeah, just have at it. You've got architecture and a
I,
miner's pick. You know how to get this thing off its
I,
hinges.
I
Okay.
think I already killed the door, son.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
wants that door off.
You never know. After ripping it out, I throw it several steps away from the entry steps. So
I really hope that nothing chases us in here and we have cause to regret this moment.
I think we're wise to be careful about being able to run out if something's chasing us.
True enough.
Paranoia is the devil's hot
Meshach's forethought.
Plus, if they got doors like this on the outside, there's gonna be a safe room inside somewhere.
You are all being very superstitious. It is just a house.
And Gertrude Ward pipes up and she says, "Gentlemen and ladies, can we proceed?"
I got some candles.
It ain't no normal house. It's evil. Old evil. The horses know it, and I know it.
It is a late 16th century revival of a sort of colonial adobe style. So maybe not evil, but clearly in bad taste, I think.
And certainly Spanish.
Yes. All right, inside we go.
All right. So you head into this long hallway.
I pull out my scatter gun.
Okay, fair enough.
Pull it out from under my apron.
And in the
I
light,
never did want to know what was under that apron, and now I know why. Let's open the door on the left.
Okay. So you go into the door on the left. You see a room. It's about 10 feet wide, about 15 feet long. 2 windows to the left. There's there were at one point, very elaborate velvet curtains. They've disintegrated pretty much to dust and are hanging in shreds from the windows.
Okay.
It doesn't appear to be occupied. It looks like there's some what do you want to call beds? Sorry, there's a couple of beds in there with very simple bed stands made out of oak or some kind of wood. They're sort of falling apart, and on the between the beds there's a crucifix, but it's upside down, and on one of the far walls there's a little painting in a frame. You can inspect that. It's all the way to the end of the room if you want to walk all the way in.
Hey, Reverend, you might want to turn your little fella upside right.
I'm going to go fix the crucifix. It needs rectifying.
You do so. It seems to be weighted somehow, and it's very difficult to get it to turn right side up again, and it keeps flopping back down, upside down.
I think at this point it would benefit us to have a philosophical agreement upon our purpose and our tactics. My inclination would be to open doors, make sure nothing's going to pounce out, and get a general sense of the layout, then return to points of interest. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I walk over to the windows and smash them from the inside outward. Still
Okay.
using my pickaxe. This is my trusted companion.
Does it have a name?
Actually, it doesn't need a name. It's my pickaxe. Well,
You can always call it diplomacy.
All right.
What?
So, how are you proceeding? Do you want to investigate each room, or this room, or do you want to move on and sort of get the lay of the land, or how do you want to proceed?
I'll go through the drawers in this room. You said there's nightstands. There must be drawers.
Mm-hmm. They're sort of falling apart, but yeah, you don't find anything of interest. There's an old handkerchief, and mostly it's just dust.
I'm going to stand guard out in the hallway for both the sake of my sinuses and the safety of the party. Bedelia, would you mind holding a light just in case I got to shoot something? It's a two-handed operation.
Why, certainly. And she sort of hides behind you with the light over your elbow.
All
I'll
right.
check the painting really quick.
The painting is not very remarkable. It's a painting of like a desert scene. Nothing very well done. It's a little bit primitive. Unusually, though, you do see a figure that looks right about a place in the painting, and she's holding a palette as if she were surveying this little painted scene.
Godless art.
So this is supposed to be a brothel, or what?
It was used as such, but the last folks who used it were just a squatting family, indigent family.
I like the idea of checking more rooms quickly and then checking them in detail.
Yeah, I think the Chesapeake was right on Chenoweth.
So what you see from the doorway and a little bit further in, David's surveying it, there is a door within this room, not the one you came in from, that to the east, on the east wall. And then there's also, the door you came in on is the only other opening.
What wall is that on?
The door you came in on is on the south wall. You came in from the west side of the house. You made a left to go north, and when you're in the room, the door is to your south.
I'll point my scattergun towards the door, and then I'll open it, the one in the east wall.
Okay.
I'm fixing to shoot me a varmint.
A varmint?
Well, something's got to be eating the curtains.
Well, it's sensible. We did hear scritching. And besides, I could do with something besides biscuit for dinner.
Guns won't do you no good against the devil's lures, boys.
But they are pretty great against coyotes.
Them's the truth.
You throw open the door, and inside is nothing attacks you. In the inside, you see it's just a seating room. It's got some comfy chairs. There's a bar along one wall. There's a violin resting on a stool.
I will examine the bar and look at the liquor.
Most of the liquor is, is in bottles you can't see through. There's a couple of bottles that are look like some sort of amber liquid. They're about half full, quarter full, mostly gone. And the bar itself is just an ornate carved wooden polished structure, but it's seen better days. It's a little beat up even before it was abandoned here.
How big is the room?
Are there any
room-
papers?
Alright, well, we're doing a fast, I guess.
The room is about 14 by 20.
Okay.
I'd like to lean my rifle up against the countertop and pick up the fiddle. Is it in any kind of shape? How long does it look like it's been out here?
For a long time. It doesn't have any strings. The strings are gone. It's got a dent in the back.
I want to pocket one of the bottles of mysterious liquor.
Okay.
I once knew a fellow who would burn a map to a treasure inside a violin.
The room is about 15 by 20, 15 east to west and 20 north to south. Also in this room, you can see on the east wall, opposite from where you came in, but a little bit further north, there's another door.
Ooh.
And then also to the north, there's a door in the middle of that northern wall.
Okay, I try to continue dragging out the doors through which we already moved. So prying them out of and throwing them out of the window or out of the entrance we came into.
Meshach, you are working counter to our idea of stealth.
Yeah, as I said, since my knees do such strange noises, I don't do stealth anymore.
So where is everybody in the room? Have you all come in, or?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I'm inside looking at the bottles.
You're looking at the bar? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
he's looking at the bottles. He was examining
Bottles. I thought he said balls.
Is there a desk or anything where there might be papers?
No, there isn't. There is a table. And there's no chests or desks. And while you're all doing that, you just get this very eerie feeling, and if you look towards the far northwest corner, rising up above it, you see a figure.
Well, just for the sheer hell of it, put a bullet in it.
Figure. What else besides a figure?
Yes, I was about to say. She's very lascivious, beautiful but evil-looking face. Her hands are, she's somewhat see-through, but she's naked, and she is rent in half from about the belly button on down, and dripping with blood, and the ends of her arms end in like tentacles, and she you can't see all of her face because she wears a mask, and it's adorned with two very spiky horns that curve outside of her, about like this out of her headdress.
Stay calm, boys. I've seen this before.
You're seeing something that also I am seeing. You're seeing a strange lady that looks like she will kill us all.
So, shall I just roll D20 then?
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, let's do that.
1!
You miss.
Wow.
Hot and Betsy! Well, yeah, I guess I should also ask, do we have any, like, psychological effects on our sanity from this?
Oh, yeah, but not yet. So, she gazes. She seems absolutely transfixed on Alonzo, and locks her eyes to his. Zach, I need you to make a wisdom throw.
Rolling under on a D20?
Yeah.
Alright. How wise am I?
She sure likes some party.
1 over.
Oh, you made it? Let me see what my charisma is.
1 over, so I failed.
Oh, and you failed. And she also failed, but I think her charisma beats yours. And so, yeah, she didn't fail. She comes towards you, this absolutely horrible creature, and you feel compelled, and you feel very attracted to this thing finally.
Oh, she's horrible but sensual.
Exactly. And she throws up her arms of these horrible tentacle things, and she says, I want you to kiss me.
I let her have it with my scattergun.
Roll an attack roll.
Okay. No, I don't have to. It's a scattergun.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
You stay away from my youngins!
And Zach, you are compelled to submit to her kiss.
Am I also shot with a gun, scatter gun?
Yes.
No, I step between them and let her have it. Just boom.
She's within kissing range of him. There's like I don't know how you can.
Do I have time?
Well, when she starts flowing towards him,
Okay,
no,
I'll give you an
have
attack
time
with
to do
your scattergun.
I don't want to scattergun him. I want to scattergun her.
Maybe initiative?
I don't mind stepping between her and him. I don't think she fancies me.
Oh.
Don't you ghosts be kissing Grandma's man candy.
Oh my.
Richard, you're right. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. Let's see what we get on the magic D4 here. 1 point. So not what I was hoping for.
She doesn't even notice. Okay, so can the rest of you go ahead and roll for initiative now that we've gotten our initial attack out, and we'll go from there.
How was initiative rolled?
Yeah, how do we roll?
D6.
What do we roll an initiative on?
Yeah, No, just roll a d6. Sorry, Lamentations, a d6.
There we go.
3.
Oh, a 6.
So she has Zach embraced in a kiss, and Zach, you can make an attack.
I
Does
can
he
make a
want
what?
You can make an attack.
So I'm compelled to kiss her, but I can attack her if I like.
You can, even though you're in her gaze. She is only interested in your sexual appeal, not so much your love and adoration.
Or if it's not
I
limbs.
figured a lot out in a single combat round. All I've got is I just saw a bullet go clean through her. And I feel like the best I can do is to continue to distract her while everyone else figures out what
Okay.
So I am going to attempt to use my charms to face her in the other direction, and maybe, hopefully, she'll just be she'll be paying attention to other things when the priest gets his act together.
Alrighty. So, Frank, you have the highest initiative.
Okay. I know what I want to do. I grab the pried out door and shove it between the mysterious woman and Alonso.
You grabbed the what out of the door?
The pried out door. The door he ripped off
Oh,
the
the
hinges.
pried out door. Gotcha.
Put it simply between them. So no making out on my watch here.
Everyone's always trying to come between us.
Yep.
Okay, so you managed to get the door between them, at least momentarily. Kyle, you have initiative.
I guess I'm gonna, I have a mace and a shield. I don't really have any range stuff. I guess I'm gonna try and smack her with the mace. 11.
That'll hit.
Oh, nice. Okay, mace.
D6, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. 4 points.
Okay.
Does it seem to do anything?
No, but you can't tell. You hit her and something happened, but it didn't really. You can't see any damage on her, but she noticed barely. David, I'm gonna let you take another attack if you want.
Okay. I will drop my blunderbuss and reach under my apron to pull out my hand axe, because every fine lady has a hand axe.
Your skirt terrifies me.
A hatchet under her apron. I'll have a go at one of her tentacles because I don't want to hurt Alonso.
Oh, good thinking.
And I shout at the Reverend, "Reverend, are you going to put up with this? It looks like they're doing the forbidden dance." Oh, I miss. I rolled a 5.
Yeah. You try, but she's very sinewy, and she withdraws her tentacle. She's her go. So, Zach, you're feeling rather weak in the knees. You're actually took damage to your constitution. But we'll figure it out in a minute here. I'll look at your character sheet. But she turns her gaze to the Reverend Wilhoit.
Nice.
Frank, make a wisdom check. And I'm trying to parse this. I've got like 17 books open at once, so I'm so sorry that I couldn't print stuff that I wanted to print. Let me look at the wisdom check to help you out here, because I know you're not familiar with Lamentations.
Well, it's the same as mine. It's just a D20 and roll under.
Who does to have the wisdom check? Meshach or the Reverend?
The Reverend.
Okay.
You've got this creature, this succubus, trying to seduce you.
So that's Arnold?
Is it my, okay, my turn. All right. And she's looking right at me.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
gonna say, this woman folk's a bit more iniquitous than them I'm accustomed to. Follow me, wench, and then I'm gonna run out into the sunshine. I think we're pretty close. Only a couple rooms in, and if she follows me, can I cast Turn Undead from the yard outside? How far can I run? Can I run all the way out to the sunshine?
You could always jump out the window. They're all smashed out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Actually, I think we're in an interior room. Kiel, would you put the map back up?
Put the map back up. Screen.
Since you're mapping for us, which is awesome.
It's Kyle, right?
Kyle, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are there windows to outside?
The first room.
In the room to the.
Did we just lose Ethel?
The smashed windows, yeah.
So I think it would be a matter of just juking to the other room, back out to the hall, and back outside. But I mean, that could.
We just lost Ethel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Out of our haunted parkour.
Haunted parkour.
That's a thing. Now, if I could figure out how to levitate while my legs pinwheel before I run, that's the prestige.
Last time I saw a Reverend run this fast was when someone stole his collection money, but, well, you never know.
I was only in that whorehouse to ask for directions how to get out.
Nice.
Didn't inhale.
I guess we can't invite her back because
I just sent Ethel the link to get back in if she needs it.
Oh, I was trying to do the same. Just my computer is really slow.
Hang on.
This bar sucks.
As far as bars go, you know.
I mean, it's nice that, you know, we're not the only people there, but still.
I think some people, if they knew they could get succubi to show up, they'd call it Ladies' Night. Like Undead Ladies' Night.
Undead Ladies' Night? Demonic Ladies' Night.
Some people would still show. They'd be like, oh, my odds just went up.
my con score is higher than my wisdom score. Why not?
Oh, man.
Ethel said her phone just crashed, so she'll be back on in just a moment.
Should we run this off her phone?
I guess. I don't know.
Wow, people at home, did you know you could do that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess I did, because I guess Reynaldo does it a bunch.
That makes perfect sense.
So this succubus is pretty badass so far.
Yeah, I feel like we need
We need somebody to turn undead.
when you hit her, but she doesn't seem to care a lot.
Of course, we kind of suck. It could just be damage reduction.
Yeah.
But it was said it was a phantasmal appearance, so I'm going to swap out for my crowbar and see if some cold iron will make a difference.
I think we should just run away and try a different door. If she changes us, I have turn undead in the chamber, ready to fire.
That's actually kind of smarter than what I was thinking. That's a good plan. I mean, really, we have no reason to die on this hill. That's a good thought.
My plan was to summon my own demon, but yours is probably more reasonable than mine.
Well, we've been in 2 rooms. Don't give it all here.
No, it's been 2 rooms. We should just, a mystical torrent or something.
Besides, if your demon shows up and it's like, cool, pad. No, shut up. I'm busy. The adults are talking. Then that's not going to be good for us.
Nah.
Kids, the adults are talking. So yeah, I mean, I think running out screaming in your best Monty Python voice, "Run away, run away," could inspire us all to greater efforts.
Although I have 3 spells, and I haven't been playing for about an hour, and I haven't used any of them. So, maybe I should be turning more things.
I don't see why not. I mean, it's a one-shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question is always, what are you saving it for? And that's not rhetorical, because there are different answers to that question. Sometimes it's like, go for it.
Yeah.
Saving it for the succubi's mom.
That's so awkward. Because, you show up, you're like, hey, Succubi, I did your mom. She's